I do feel optimistic about MAGA Maha. I do, because, well, like, you know, how I came to, not Christ, but how I came to Trump was like, if they hate him this much, there's got to be something he's doing right. I don't know what it is yet, because I was on board with it. Yeah,
like, well,
all right, so in this clip, it looks like we have Emma Vigeland and Sam Seder, who obliterated Russell Brand in this epic shutdown. As you can see, Russell Brand is the type of individual who makes outlandish and provocative statements that can be very polarizing, but not everyone likes it. Emma and Sam have some things to say about him, so let's go ahead and check out this clip where Emma Vigeland and Sam Seder obliterate Russell Brand in this epic shutdown.
I mean, I was a big fan of Russell Brand's too. I saw him live. I read 2 of his books, but he is a bit of a con artist. I mean,
I never got it.
I think when you're maybe when I was into him, 19-ish, he's very verbose. But and back when he was doing his stand-up, I've said this before, I went to his show and a bunch of people in Atlantic City who didn't know anything about him walked out because he was saying kind of edgy things about Christianity and had a picture of Jesus up there next to Che Guevara. It was more, it was more in that area.
The wind was blowing a different way back then. I mean, I followed Russel Brand's BBC show back in the 2000s because, yeah, he's, I think, loquacious and I thought funny. Listening back to those shows, he's also clearly perverted. He cannot not channel any interview, whether man or woman, to sex. It's clearly a problem of his, and so I can't really listen to him anymore. But you know, the word of his behavior crossed the Atlantic as his career here was starting to take off, and the acting gigs dried up, so he needs new patrons now.
I do feel optimistic about MAGA Maha. I do, because, well, like, you know, how I came to, not Christ, but how I came to Trump was like, if they hate him this much, there's got to be something he's doing right. I don't know what it is yet, because I was on board with it. Yeah,
like, well, if people hate something, if some people hate, I mean, obviously, you know, at least 50%, or, you know, depending on how you want to measure it, don't hate Donald Trump. They love him, and there's nothing he could do wrong. In fact, even when he lost in 2020, still there was 70-odd million who Trump, I think, said, you know, I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and they would still love me. So, yeah. But this calculation of, well, if the people on the left, the people on the right hate you, you're doing something right. Or if the people, if some people hate you, then you must be doing something right. That just seems very, very odd. Some people hate Joe Biden. In fact, a lot of them, you're not going to come out in support of Joe Biden because of it.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I guess it's true that Trump seems to be the kind of person people either love or hate. That's just who he is. I think pretty much anyone in politics fits into this category, but Trump is kind of an outlier. He seems to create a stronger divide between his supporters and critics. I feel like Sam Seder is definitely spot on here.
It's understandable if you understand that he's a narcissist, and when he says hate, that means attention. And so, you know, after 9/11, he went to MTV Studios dressed as Osama bin Laden, and that was seen as kind of like a funny, edgy thing to do.
Right.
Looking back on it, it's clear that Osama bin Laden was the person of the day, and Russell Brand wanted to be the person of the day as well.
And didn't he say at the time he was also on a lot of drugs as well?
Yeah,
right?
He has a messiah complex. It's literally a stand-up.
That was the name of his stand-up.
Stand-up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Trump was like, if they hate him this much, there's got to be something he's doing right. I don't know what it is yet, because I was on board with, yeah, you can't say Mexicans are rapists. That's horrible. But then, I just slowly, through realizing that the institutional Kafkaesque bureaucrats that ultimately tried to destroy me, I came to think, now this guy, and then more and more, I think he's he's an American mystic. That's what I think. He's like some sort of silverback creature of the American American imagination. If there were an American prophet, of course he eats McDonald's and drinks Coke and goes around with a jet with his own name on it. What does the American myth demand of you? Of course you'll have big phallic towers with your name. America created him. America needed him. America got him. And I think that he might be the end of the kind of globalism that we were fearful of before when we were doing censorship.
Okay, can you
industrial
pause it? I'm
complex stuff.
sorry. So, like, I want to hear Schellenberger too, but it's just, like, incredible where he's close to the right answer in the sense of, like, yeah, Donald Trump is an American creation. He's the prosperity gospel president. We worship billionaires and wealthy people, and Trump is like a cartoon billionaire that has marketed himself since the 90s as the rich guy. And so, like, that's actually, he's more of a monster created by our capitalistic society, not a prophet as he refers to him as.
That monster would also be a rapist.
Yeah, right.
Emma Vigeland seems to just hit the nail on the head here. When you think of America, especially from the perspective of a foreigner looking in, Trump is kind of like the perfect representation of what America symbolizes. I know this might sound a bit strange, but if America were to get pregnant, Trump would be the baby, if that makes sense. All right, enough of that. Let's see what Emma Vigeland and Sam Seder have to say about Russel here.
Like, I mean, what an imperfect prophet if that's the case. But
All of them are imperfect.
You see how he has still the, like, skeleton of what made him more, like, popular in terms of, like, what Matt and I
was gonna
liked
say,
about
he
him.
seems a little bit less pious than he has recently. I wonder if there's some type of reversion. But
the grift has taken over, and so now he's just appealing to the MAGA base.
That we were fearful of before when we were doing censorship industrial complex stuff, but I just, none of us knows what it will beget. And I say, without the one true God, I'd be concerned.
Clip ends there.
I don't need to see Schellenberger talk about his fantastical notions too. Last I saw, he was saying to Glenn Beck, it's very possible that the drones over New Jersey were non-human origin.
Yeah.
Great.
Because the U.S. government, it would be illegal for them to do. My God.
A lot of assumptions there.
One funny bit Russell used to do is torment a religious member of his production staff called Nick the Vicar's son. I wonder if he's going to apologize for the things he said about Christ back then.
It is quite convenient that he gets to be redeemed now.
Well, that's the thing I always keep in my
Perfect
back
timing.
pocket too. If you ever want to make a turn, that's probably the way that I retire from this show. I have something and I found
You convert to evangelical Christianity,
yeah.
and then all your sins are
Opus
absolved.
Dei. I'll convert to Opus Deism.
That'd be nice.
Yep, Catholicism.
We need a guy on the inside.
Do that after you're exposed for calling abuse victim the child.
Yeah, I might. We'll see. I don't know if I want to go that far.
Forgot about that.
All right, there you have it. Seems like Emma Vigeland and Sam Seder just kept bashing Russell Brand here. At the end of the day, Russell Brand is just a very outlandish type of dude who can sometimes say things he doesn't entirely mean. Unfortunately, not everyone understands his sarcasm, and it can trigger some people. But what do you all think of this situation? Be sure to let me know down below. Check out some of my other videos if you enjoyed this commentary. Take care.